Hey guys, so we are reading chapter 5 of Harry Potter's and the Sorcerer's Stone. Hagrid is on the train with Harry and they're going to go get some school supplies. All right. Harry unfolded a second piece of paper he hadn't noticed the night before and read, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Uniform. First year students will require 3 sets of plain work robes, black, 1 plain pointed hat, black for day wear, 1 pair of protected gloves, dragon hide or similar, 1 winter cloak, black, silver fastenings. Please note that all pupils' clothes should carry name tags. Sets of books. All students should have a copy of the following: Standard Book of Spells by Miranda Gauchon, A History of Magic by Bathilda Bagshot, Magical Theory by Albert Waffling, A Beginner's Guide to Transfiguration by Emmerich Switch, 1,000 Magical Herbs and Fungi by Philadia Spore, Magic Drafts and Potions by Arnius Jigger, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, Dark Forces, A Guide to Self-Protection by Quentin Trimble. Other equipment: 1 wand, 1 cauldron, pewter, standard size 2, 1 set of glass or crystal phials, 1 telescope, 1 brass scales. Students may also bring an owl or a cat or a toad. Please, parents are reminded that first year students are not allowed to bring their own broomsticks. Can we buy all this stuff in London? Harry wondered aloud. If you know where to go, said Hagrid. Harry had never been to London before. Although Hagrid seemed to know where he was going, he was obviously not used to getting there in the ordinary way. I'll show you guys the picture of Hagrid in the train station. Hagrid got stuck in the ticket barrier in the underground and complained loudly that the seats were too small and the train was too slow. I don't know how muggles managed to do without magic, he said, as they climbed the broken down escalator which led up to a bustling road lined with shops. Hagrid was so huge that he parted the crowd easily. All Harry had to do was keep close behind him. They passed bookshops and music stores, hamburger bars and cinemas, but nowhere that looked as if it would sell you a magic wand. This was just an ordinary street full of ordinary people. Could there really be piles of wizard gold buried miles beneath them? Were they really shops that sold spellbooks and broomsticks? Might this not be some huge joke that the Dursleys cooked up? If Harry hadn't known the Dursleys had no sense of humor, he might have thought so. Yet somehow, even though everything Hagrid had told him was so far unbelievable, Harry couldn't help but trust him. That's it, said Hagrid, coming to a halt. The Leaky Cauldron. It's a famous place. It was a tiny, grubby-looking pub. If Hagrid hadn't pointed it out, Harry wouldn't have noticed it was there. The people hurrying by didn't glance at it. Their eyes slid from the big bookshop on one side to the record shop on the other, as though they couldn't see the Leaky Cauldron at all. In fact, Harry had the most peculiar feeling that only he and Hagrid could see it. Before he mentioned this, Hagrid had steered him inside. All right, and there is a picture of the Leaky Cauldron. For a famous place, it was very dark and shabby. A few old women were sitting in the corner drinking glasses of sherry. One of them was smoking a long pipe. A little man in the top hat was talking to an old barman who was quite bald and looked like a gummy walnut. The low buzz of chatter stopped when they walked in. Everybody seemed to know Hagrid. They waved and smiled at him. The barman reached for a glass, saying, "Usual, Hagrid?" "Can't, Tom. I'm on Hogwarts business," said Hagrid, clapping his great hand on Harry's shoulder, making Harry's knees buckle. "Good Lord," said the barman, staring at Harry. Can this be?" The Leaky Cauldron suddenly went completely still and silent. "Bless my soul," whispered the old barman. "Harry Potter, what an honor." He hurried out from behind the bar, rushed towards Harry, and seized his hand, tears in his eyes. "Welcome back, Mr. Potter. Welcome back." Harry didn't know what to say. Everyone was looking at him. The old woman with the pipe was puffing on it without realizing it had gone out. Hagrid was beaming. Then there was a great scraping of chairs, and the next moment, Harry found himself shaking hands with everyone in the leaky cauldron. "Doris Crockford, Mr. Potter, can't believe I'm meeting you at last. So proud, Mr. Potter. I'm just so proud. I've always wanted to shake your hand. I'm in a flutter. Delighted, Mr. Potter. Just can't tell you. Diggle's the name. Daedalus Diggle." "I've seen you before," said Harry, as Daedalus Diggle's top hat fell off in excitement. "You bowed to me once in the shop." "He remembers!" cried Daedalus Diggle, looking at everybody. "Did you hear that? He remembers me." Harry shook hands again and again. Doris Crockford kept coming back for more. A pale young man made his way forward, very nervously. One of his eyes was twitching. "Professor Quirrell," said Hagrid. "Harry, Professor Quirrell will be one of your teachers at Hogwarts." "Potter," stammered Professor Quirrell, grasping Harry's hand. "Can't tell you how pleased I am to meet you." "What sort of magic do you teach, Professor Quirrell?" The defense against the dark arts," muttered Professor Quirrell, as though he'd rather not think about it. "Not what you need it, huh, Potter?" He laughed nervously. "You'll be getting all your equipment, I suppose. I've got to pick up my new book on vampires myself." He looked terrified at the very thought, but others wouldn't let Professor Quirrell keep Harry to himself. It took almost 10 minutes to get away from them but at last, Hagrid managed to make himself heard over all the babble. Must get on. Lots to buy. Come on, Harry." Doris Crockford shook Harry's hand one last time, and Hagrid led them through the bar out a small walled courtyard, where there's nothing but a dustbin and a few weeds. Hagrid grinned at Harry. "Told you, didn't I? Told you you'd be famous. Even Professor Quirrell was trembling to meet you. Mind you, he's usually trembling." "Is he always that nervous?" "Oh, yeah. Poor bloke. Brilliant mind. He was fine when he was studying out of the books, but then he took a year off to get some first-hand experience. They say he met vampires in the Black Forest, and, well, there was a nasty bit of trouble with a hag. He's never been the same since. Scared of students, scared of his own subject. Where's my umbrella?" "Vampires? Hags?" Harry's head was swimming. Hagrid, meanwhile, was counting bricks above the dustbin. "All right. 3 up, 2 across. Right. Stand back, Harry." He tapped the wall 3 times with the point of the umbrella. The brick he had touched quivered. It wiggled, and then in the middle a small black hole appeared. It grew wider and wider. A second later they were facing an archway large enough for even Hagrid, an archway onto a cobbled street which twisted and turned out of sight. "Welcome," said Hagrid, "to Diagon Alley." Okay, here we go. Let Harry can see. All right, we will continue right now.